All right, so we want the monthly payment. So to figure out the payment, we go price, it's already after taxes, so we're good. Take away the 5,500 and we multiply that by the table rate. It's 5 years at 5.5%, so it's 5 years, 5.5 wherever they meet. That is the rate we want. If the 1910 is circled, or if the 1910 shows up here, you get 1 mark no matter what. If you get everything else wrong, you will get 1 mark for this particular question. I will do one more line where I show what I get when I subtract these. That's 27,300, 1910 over 1,000. I'll give you a mark for subtracting the down payment. I will give you a mark for having that rate. And I will give you a mark for actually calculating that value, which is 521.43. So what are some variations here? If you did not subtract the down payment, you get 2 out of 3 if I see the work, okay? If you got the wrong value, you get 2 out of 3 provided that this is correct and you're multiplying to get that. If you didn't subtract correctly and you don't have the right value, you'll get 1 out of 3. So it's really hard to not get anything here, okay? So keep that in mind. And then again, remember the errors, rounding, units, and notation. That's something that I would be looking for as well, okay? The total interest paid. So now, whatever you got here follows you, okay? This payment will follow along, so you don't lose marks here if you use this payment. So total interest, we go 521.43. We multiply that by 12, and in this case, we're looking at a 5-year loan, minus 27,300. Okay, so you get, when you multiply that all out, I don't have that number, so bear with me. 31,285.80 minus 27,300. So you would get half a mark for this, half a mark for that, and a full mark for subtracting. So you just subtracting 2 numbers basically gets you a mark. That's how the province would award this. This is what you should get if you got the same payment as I did in A. So I basically would be looking for, are you using this number here? If you don't, you lose half a mark for this piece. If you use 32,800 here, then you lose half a mark. But if you subtract 2 numbers, you still get a full mark for that final answer. Okay? You get a full mark for subtracting. What else could have happened here? A $sign and rounding, of course. So you're good to go. So if you got, let's say up here, you got 750. I would expect you to go 750 times 12 times 5 minus the loan and so forth. If you decided that your loan is 32,800 up here, then that's the number I would expect to see here. If you get a negative, that's when I draw the line. If you get a negative, you lose a full mark. Because that, you should have caught it, right? You can't have negative interest. It will be a positive number. So if you get a negative, go -1, okay, no matter what. State is short and sweet, right? No explaining. 2 advantages and 2 disadvantages of buying new. So you can say lower maintenance. You can say customization. And I have to be specific. These are my advantages here, okay, on the left side for me. Okay, so this would be my disadvantages. You would say higher depreciation. You could say What else did I give you here? Costs more to insure. Doesn't have to be exactly like mine, no. No, if it kind of hits close enough, you're good. Worst case scenario, please don't leave this blank ever, because we have a little trick under our sleeves, which is called lack of clarity. If you're not quite clear, but you're kind of getting there, we're allowed to give you half a mark. And they can't really argue with us, right? Like, what are you gonna, like, why did you give half a mark? They don't really bother with that. So please don't leave it blank. Put something down, then you have a chance. If there's nothing there, it's 0, okay? I think for advantages, customization. Oh, disadvantages, you pay for freight and freight cost. You can talk about that. Customization costs more, right? Customization costs more. Advantages would be you have warranty. Warranty could be one that you could, it would be very similar to lower maintenance, so be careful that they're not too similar. You don't want to have two that are too close to each other, then they don't count as separate entries. So 4 marks, 1 for each, okay? And last, there's a purchasing a vehicle and it's a private sale. So the formula that I would like you to look up is the UP, right? Use private, which is the price of the car plus we have to figure out the PST. The book value is this, the actual price is that. So we have to grab the book value to figure out the PST. There's a safety, which is $45. I will multiply that by 1.05. And there's a lien charge for $45. Okay, so that's what it should look like. And I'm going to kind of hand out marks like crazy on this one. So if you have the 22,500, you get a mark. Because if you don't, then you lose that mark. You get a mark for showing me that you're adding 5% to your safety. And you also get a full mark for having the lien search separately without taxes. So 3 marks already. And then clean it up. The cleanup process is going to get you a mark. So this gives you 1575. This is 4725. That's 45. Then you add it all up. You get 20,167.25. That is another full mark. So we're going to make this one worth 4 marks. Yep. So this is taxing. Like if you do this part and this part, that is adding taxes. So yeah, that reminds me of if you went and added 12% to this, like if I see this there, but you add taxes, you lose a full mark. Okay, because you're double taxing. It just turns out that for a private sale, it's 7% on the greater of the two, the purchase price and book. So this is your PST. Okay, sorry, RST. They had to make things complicated, right? And this is already adding the GST that applies to safety. If there had been parts and labor, what do we tax parts and labor? 12%. Right? So everything is taxed according to its category. So this is already including taxes. Includes tax. So just so you know. Okay. So 4 and 4, that's 8, and 2, that is 10, and then 3, that's 13. So this whole thing is not out of 12, but it's out of 13. So what I do is I just cross it out and just make it out of 13. So make sure you have a mark there. You have your name and last name on there. And tally it up, and I'm not going to argue with you if you're off by a mark or two.